So good morning. So in our last class, we were discussing the various JSP tags and their usage. And we also saw how if statement, switch statement can be implemented using those tags. So today we shall see how to implement the other control and looping statements. Okay, so we shall start with the for statement. Okay. So a for statement in okay, will look like this for yeah, we can declare a variable here itself for int I is equal to 1, I less than 10. Okay, let us try to print the tables, okay, using and in between let us insert the HTML tag. Okay, so a mathematical table. So like 5 into 1 is equal to 5, 5 into 2, like that. So let us try to print, yeah, 5 into I. So the print statement should be 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So that let us try to put it in a table format. So table, if we want to put, we have to use the table tags. Okay. So table tags are required. So let us declare the variables for that purpose. So yeah. So int number is equal to 5. Okay. So this is one. Next, we shall start the table tag followed by the tr tags. So tr we shall put inside the for statement. So each row will be in a tr tag. So we shall close the table at the end. So here we should have the tr tags. So in the tr tags, so these are the dynamically generated tables. Okay, so tr then followed by td. So we shall put two td tags. So we want two columns, so we'll put two td tags. Okay. I will start with one. We shall less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Okay, fine. So here in the first cell, we'll print number, then followed by the star symbol, then followed by the I value. And on the another cell, we want the multiplication. So again, multiplication, it is nothing but number into I. So first one is different and this one is different. Okay. So here, this number into I, so it is a value. So we have to put it inside a expression tag. So expression tag is percentage equal to, and then we have to end it with percentage. Okay, so this is a now 1. So number star I. So on the other side, so this is just a value. So we have to put each one of it in a separately, we have to put it in a expression tag. Okay, so number it will print. Okay, closing of TD, we should get it to next row. So expression tag number will print, then star it will print, then we have to print I. So percentage followed by this one. Okay. So here we have number star I, close the TD tag, that is the table cell. And here another table cell will be printing the multiplied value. Okay. So this is a HTML tag. Now we have, for this particular control statement, we have to put the scriptlet tag. So scriptlet tag is nothing but this percentage. So we shall start the scriptlet tag, and first we have to end the scriptlet tag here, because the next portion is the HTML tag. So we started the scriptlet tag before this one for commencing of for, and we ended it after this flower bracket. Then we have this HTML tag. So this entire is a HTML tag and all the things are embedded. Now here we will put this closing flower bracket inside a scriptlet tag. Okay. So now we have this kind. So let us try to execute. So there is some error at line number 3. So yeah, we'll put this semicolon. So now, so it has displayed the tables. So 5 into 1, 5, but we don't have the tabular structure. So if you want the tabular structure, so we have to put the border attribute. Okay. So now, so it is showing the border. So this is how HTML and JSP works together. So in formatting a HTML page. So if you want the coloring, you can also add it using the color attribute for each row, and any HTML attribute, cell spacing, cell width, cell padding. So everything what you do in what you have learned in the web programming subject. So all those things can be applied here. Okay, so this is an example of how the for statement works. So here in the for statement, so we have to open and close the scriptlet tag like this for the form statement, then end one more scriptlet tag at the ending flower braces. So in between, if we have any computation, suppose here in this particular example, so we just put the values directly. So instead, if we want to store it temporarily, so we can have the additional statement like this, maybe like this. So result is equal to number star I. So it is a temporary variable. So result. So we shall initialize it to 0. So result is equal to number star I. So in place of this number into I, so we may write res. So, but here, this is an additional statement. So since an additional Java statement is added, so we have to put this inside a scriptlet tag. So that is what is required. So we can have any number of Java statements, but for all of them, the scriptlet tag should be written. And finally, the closing flower braces should be put inside this scriptlet tag once again. So this is one control statement. So next we shall see the while statement. Okay. So in order to look at how while looping can be implemented in JSP, so we shall take one more example. So in order to print a number, its square, its cube, like that. Okay. So from 1 to 10, so we shall print it. So while, so we need a variable. So that variable has to be declared. So we shall declare here itself first. So starting with 1, while I less than 11, which means we will be printing till 10. So till 10 we will be printing. Here we will print the row. So in each row, so first we will be printing the value of I. So yeah, we have to open a TD tag. So in the first TD tag, we will print the number. Then in second cell, we will print its square. Then its cube. And finally, we have to close the TR tag. So this is while looping like this. So again, for table, we will put border. And for this initialization, so it has to be in a scriptlet tag. Then here the while and the flower bracket opening flower braces, it should be in a scriptlet tag like this. Then we'll have HTML, the closing this one should be in a again a scriptlet tag. Okay. Then here this I value, I square and I cube, so they must be inside a expression tag. So we will encapsulate it in the expression tag I, then I square and I cube. Close the scriptlet tag on both of them. So let us check for any errors. So it's still processing. So here you have to increment the value of I on each iteration of this while loop. So we'll put that incrementation of I inside a scriptlet tag like this. Okay. So now it is let us- yeah. So I plus plus. Then this has ended. So we can merge this also. So yeah, this incrementation of I and closing of the flower braces can be put inside a single a scriptlet tag. Now, if we try to execute, then you can see we got the table. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 3, 9 like this. But for this, we need to add a header. So it would be meaningful only if we add the header for this table. So header can be added either through a th tag or even you can do it with tr only. So let us try to add that header to /td. So since 3 cells are required. So the first one, it is a number. Second one is a square. And the third column is a cube. Okay. So we got number, square, and cube. So further, if you want, you can align it to the center. Okay. Using the attributes, and you can put it in a bold. So we can make these headings as a bold with the introduction of bold tag, or that can be done in the style tag also. So this is the working of a while loop, how HTML content can be dynamically generated using the help of Java. So in our web programming, if you had learned PHP, or that is part of your syllabus, PHP programming, same thing, you will be doing it in PHP. So PHP, you can write it as a separate file. There you can construct similar to this one. The tags can be constructed. So there you will use the echo command. So instead of placing these scriptlet tags, so there you will have echo command to print all the HTML elements. So this is how Java supports the web programming. So this makes the content dynamic. So if you want, you can, if you just want 10, then put equal to, so 10, 100, 1000, it is printed. So this is an example of a while looping statement. So similarly, we can have do while also. So same thing, if you want to put it in a do while, so we can just replace this with do, and at the end of this brace, so we can put it in while condition. So at the end. So do is a exit condition checking. So while exiting the loop, if the condition matches, then it will go for the next iteration. So that is the difference. And in while, the minimum number of times is actually 0. If the condition doesn't match, the control will not go inside. In do while, so it will enter the loop first, and then it will check the condition for the next iteration. So you can say the output for do while also. Now suppose if I make this as 11, so still, so you can see, so it has printed once. So one time it has went inside the loop. If the same thing, if I is equal to 11 in the while loop, then it would have not executed. Okay. So this is regarding the control statements in JSP. So we saw if statement, then switch statement, then for, and followed by the while statement. So you can install the Eclipse and required for J2 EE and try to create a project and implement these things. So we require a Tomcat server for execution of these JSP pages also. So Tomcat is a web server. So JSP programs are executed by the JSP virtual machine on a web server. So that's why we need a access to JSP virtual machine in order to run the JSP program. So we can alternatively integrate the development environment using the JBuilder. So JBuilder is another tool which has a built-in JSP virtual machine. So we can download and install this JSP virtual machine also. So, but the popular JSP virtual machine is the Tomcat, and it is available free of cost from the Apache website. So Apache is a popular web server that we can download and use at no cost. So they provide the web server for Java language, for PHP, Perl, many languages they provide, and it is a free tool. So the only thing that we need is the Java development kit, JDK, installed on the system. Okay, so that probably for executing the Java code, so you might have installed it. So then the concept we have, that is the request string. So this when we open a browser and type the URL, the browser will generate the user request string. So whatever that is there in the URL, that itself is a request string. So sometimes what happens in a web page, some of our button actions will take us to different pages. So whenever we click on submit button, so at that time, a user request string containing a URL will be generated. So that URL and query string will be as follows, followed by the domain of the request page. So this is the where JSP.jsp is the page to which the request must be forwarded. To this page, some additional parameters are sent. So that additional parameters will be placed after this question mark. So whatever is there after the question mark is a parameter. On this side is a parameter. On this side, it is a URL. So to a specific page. So that complete address will be there. So and after the question mark, the parameters will be present. So here the parameter name is age and its value is 34. So we can similarly place any number of parameters, but the only restriction is the length of the URL. So if we have another parameter, so we can put up ampersand here, no space. So space should not be given. So continuously it will be present. So put ampersand followed by another parameter is equal to and its value. So this entire thing is a query string, and it must be parsed to extract the values of the parameter. Suppose if we want to extract the parameter value age, then in the JSP we can use this particular command inside a declaration tag, or we can use a scriptlet tag. So since we are declaring a variable and storing it, we are using declaration tag. So string yes age is equal to request dot get parameter, name of the parameter. So request is a default request object, get parameter is a method, and age is the name of the parameter which we want to extract. So request strings are predefined implicit objects in any JSP program. So this request, response, session, out. So these four are the default objects that are present in all the JSP files, and we need not declare or define them. So a request is an instance of HTTP request, servlet request. Response is an instance of HTTP servlet response. Session is an instance of HTTP session, and out is an instance of JSP writer. So we have not used this out instance. So whenever we look into next examples, so we'll see the out also. So when we use the out object, we can write out.println, and in that println we can write any HTML tags as a string. Whatever is written inside that out.println will be written to HTML file. But if we write it to system.out.println, then all the print statements will be directed to console. So these are the four implicit objects that we can use on any JSP page. To read the parameter values, if there are multiple valued fields such as selections, so we can utilize the inbuilt method, that is get parameter values. Suppose if we have multiple values like email ID, so multiple email IDs are being passed, then we can extract them in an array. So get parameters, it will return an array of string. So in the previous example, this has returned a single string. So instead, this get parameter value will return an array of strings. So once all the parameter values are present in an array, so we can iterate over that array and extract the required values. So we can also parse the URL for other informations. So again, URL, as I mentioned, it can be divided into two parts. So that, and this question mark acts as a partition. So URL component will appear to the left side of the question mark, and a query string will appear to the right side of a question mark. So that we have already seen. But URL can be divided into four parts. So URL, it begins with the protocol. So the protocol defines the rule for the data transfer, how data transfers from client browser to the server. So the protocols are nothing but HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP. That is a file transfer protocol. So HTTP and HTTPS. So the difference is the security features are added in the HTTPS. So it is called as a secured version of HTTP. The next part is the name of the host and the port number combination. Host is nothing but the IP address, or it is the name of the server that contains the JSP program. So if we are using the DNS, then this particular name of the server will gets translated to IP address. So port number is the number where the host monitoring is going on. So by default, HTTP, assumption is that it will be monitoring the port number 80. Then comes the last part, that is the virtual path. Port is nothing but a virtual path. So virtual path will be mapped to physical path by the server. So server maps the virtual path to physical path. So for example, if this is a URL, so the protocol here is the HTTP, host is this answers.com, port number it is assumed to be 80, so we are not explicitly mentioning it. And the virtual path is after this. So this is nothing but the directories. Inside this main directory, so subdirectory main is present, and inside that main directory business.jsp is present. So that is the virtual path. So these are the 4 parts that URL contains: the protocol, host, port, and virtual path. Okay. So this is part of URL. On the other side of the URL, so we will be having the query string. So query string contains the parameter and value. So we can stop the discussion for today's class here. So you can enter your attendance in the chat. So in our next class, we shall study the user sessions, cookies, and session objects. The same we have already discussed in the servlet. So we shall study the same concepts in JSP.